Yo, Mozzarella, how you doing, man? Welcome back. All right, like this, like this, like this. What's up, sophisticated gamer? How you doing? Okay, so we're overweight like that. What about this? We're still overweight. I'm gonna need a lot of endurance to carry this, I think. Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, Chirico? How you doing, man? Honestly, I'm tempted. Oh, we can actually do that. Huh. Okay. You know what? That's not that bad. We're gonna keep 38 endurance. Let's go respec.
Is it time? Now.
Dexy has built lover. What's up, Steel? Yeah, you know who who came in last stream, Steel? Shag. Shag was telling me about how he thought offhand Rakshasa main hand Claws of Night was better than Clean Rot. So I was like, you know what? Let's just give that a shot for today.
Me not I would birth.
Before I respec though, I forgot. Okay, this is 12, this is 8, this is 11. So I don't actually need
Heart down.
any strength stat invested. That to 38. Let's see what it gives us for Dex.
Oh my fan.
You're kind of skeptical. Shag the shitter guy? Yeah, Shag. But you know, when I played like a long time ago, when I played Green when he was using that setup and I was using TS, I was actually doing better with Lance than with TS against Rakshasa Claws of Night for whatever reason. So I mean, I don't know if Rakshasa off rack main hand Claws is better than TS. I don't think so, but it's not like the most like far-fetched thing to say, all things considered. Like, it is like, this is a very strong setup, at least for 1v1. Now, quite crazy how many points you get at 150. He's a nice guy outside of the game. Wait, how many points do we have to spare? I wonder if we could scrap a talisman. We have 9 points. 9 points that we can scrap. With 9 scrap points, I'm thinking I can probably scrap at least her 3 favor. Because right now I'm at 75 dex, but my real dex, or my real dex at 75 and my actual dex at 80 because we have permanent Millicent. So I'm thinking probably gonna try leveling up endurance a little more. See what we can get away with. Oh, we can actually get away with it. Oh yeah. I wonder if we can get away with switching that. Oh, it's getting close. Ah, so close. I wonder, what, 4.6 here? Oh, this is so close. Dude, I think we might be able to mid-roll. We might be able to mid-roll with, like, 1 extra point in endurance. Yeah. Oh, this is so close, but this works. Crazy. All right, we're gonna try this out. All right, let's see. To be fair, you know, with the new Tarnished Edition starting class, I think we would be able to get 60 vigor here with this build. Okay. Let's see this in action. Not quite sure what I'm gonna be using to buff myself. I'm thinking like just using the normal meat, like no defense debuff necessarily, like just, you know, using Exalted Flesh I think would be enough here. And aside from that, probably should be setting up the pots correctly. Dex build big pots are very nice, and so are the frost ones. All right, let's see what happens. Let's just take a look at our stats real quick. So 58, 47, 14, 80. I think we could optimize this further though. Like obviously my armor here is not optimized. Like this is just fashion armor. Like this is not optimized armor. You could have better armor. Players in there, 2 players. 2 players at the church nonetheless, with the boss alive. That's pretty rare. Usually it's just people swapping gear. And I am correct. This is already doing a lot of damage. What's going to be good, though, is we're going to be able to finish people that are a little further away here. Honestly, like, because of that, I'm thinking, like, is it really necessary to have the spread crossbow, given that the Claws of Night already has a projectile built in? Perhaps well, like, if I don't have the spread crossbow, what would I even do with these extra points? Like, 2 more vigor? 3 more endurance? I don't even know what I would do. Actually, not 3 more endurance, because we would lower our endurance technically. Looks like a nasty setup. Yeah, I fought that a few times. I fought Shag with it, fought Green with it a while. Like I fought both of them a while ago with this. I always felt like this was like a gimmick I had not like quite figured out, and so maybe it is actually super strong. I think versus something like Lance, it would be best to just two-hand the Rakshasa. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you're right. I don't know. The host basically let me fight. This is quite strong. I mean, it's... This is, I mean, I know this is strong in at least 1v1, but... I don't know. I feel like we have not been tested, though. I shouldn't say that. We have not been tested against multiple people attacking us. Like, the host basically let us fight his teammate there. I'm surprised we got a bleed proc. How much bleed buildup do we have? 45 and 55? That's not even high, though. That's pretty low. Our AR is also not, like, you know, particularly outstanding here. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, 684 is stupid for claws, but, you know, like, in the grand scheme of things, with everything we've been trying in the last few months, to be fair, we're not buffed in any way, shape, or form. What if we do eat Exalted Flesh? What's our AR like? With just, like, one buff. Well, I guess what matters is the fact that our offhand eye armor combos into the claws. After that, I'm gonna need to figure out, like, okay, like, I do this and this. Like, what's the correct follow-up after that? Do I do this, this, and then I start over? Or do I do this, this, this? Or do I do, like a crouch attack? Or, you know, this, or maybe even... We'll have to figure that out. Think Bleed Wacky is stronger? I don't think so. Because Claw does so much damage. Like, the thing with, like, the Wacky is it doesn't do nearly as much damage as Claw. Like, with the one-handed Claw here, like, you can trade with a TS. That's a big deal. Like, your one-handed Wacky will not be able to trade with TS. I mean, you can, but you're gonna lose damage big time. The Claw just does so much damage that you can afford it. And also, every time you get Eye Armor, like, you have to keep in mind, like, your damage from your main hand basically dictates your damage of your offhand, because your offhand is always going to combo into your main hand here. So having main hand have as much damage as possible means that your offhand does more damage. I think the Claw is actually the proper pairing here. But again, it's not like I came up with anything like that. Like, you know, this setup has been used for quite some time since the DLC came out. It's just that I want to revisit it today. Is the frame rate tanking? I made the stream 30 FPS. Let me see if it's stable or not, though. It's not stable. 30, that's... I'm playing around. Every stream I'm changing the settings. I'm trying to test things out. OBS frame rate says it's fine. Frame rate on OBS seems fine, other than the fact that the stream is 30 FPS. Guess if someone else complains about it, we'll see if there's anything unusual. Yo, what's up, chillin'? I'm trying to stream at 30 FPS because I want to see the quality difference for the stream given the bitrate. And I'm also sharing my encoding between Twitch and YouTube, which quite frankly is the real challenge here because it's very easy to optimize for either YouTube or Twitch. But like I said, I'm trying different settings every stream. Figure out like what's causing my issue. So far we have not had the issue again, so but I'm still playing around with it, and I think it's best to play around with settings now, you know, like while Elden Ring is 4 years old, as opposed to like, let's say when Duskblood comes out or something like that. You hear about the ID Software layoff? I mean, I heard that there's layoffs, but for like video game studios, but I don't know which one. Studios always made really good stuff. I mean, it depends on how much it costs and how much it sells, though. Like I don't know if Doom: The Dark Ages has sold well compared to the development cost. Like Doom is a pretty hyped franchise, so they probably put a lot of money into that project. I don't know though. Maybe it did sell well. I have no idea. I think the one-handed con or Claws of Night tends to void tech more often on the jump R2 projectile. On this, yeah, I think I've had a lot of cases where someone did a jump R2 at me and I took like a bazillion damage, you know, from this. Yeah, I've had that happen quite often. Can this headshot, by the way, like this, can this attack headshot? So I know like before this used the auto headshot, then they removed the headshot, but I don't know about the other attacks. People are overspending on AAA. Well, you know, the production is overspending on AAA. Like these studios have massive pipelines that are kind of bloated, honestly. Like they say it costs too much to make like to make games. That's because like their standards are all over the place, you know? Like you look at a game like Fatekeeper has a team of 13 people who are able to push out like AAA level graphics, you know? Like sure the game was very short, but it was also inexpensive, you know? Like you make the length of that game, you know, time I don't know, like times 7, and you also like make the game full price. Well, like, you know, the math adds up. Seems like a good pipeline. I don't know. You alone, buddy? No, you're not. Three of them now. Wow, good thing only one of the hammer hit. Wow, the backstab damage was kind of high. What the hell? This seems pretty strong so far, even for invasions. What's crazy is, like, clearly this is more of like a dueling type setup. Yet, like the damage is so high that it actually works for invasions too. I missed what you said before that, Chirko. Let's see. We're spending on AAA. That trend isn't going away either, with Rockstar charging $80 base price for GTA 6. Part of it is using AI for things like resizing textures. I think that's just normal though. Like, you know, there are some things where AI can be like detrimental to the game. Like, you know, like if you're actually like taking AI to make like the armors, you know, and the game assets that the player sees everywhere, like clearly like that drops the quality of the game. Maybe at one point it won't, but like as it stands right now, like using AI for asset generation definitely doesn't have the same quality as what a professional can do. But when it comes to like coding, you know, like if the game runs well and if you if you can't tell the difference, well, you know, there's really no disadvantage to that. There's a lot of things like that. Like it's not that much of a broad stroke as it is a case by case thing where AI makes sense in some things. At least right now, you know, like for the future, I think things are changing so rapidly. Like perhaps like in the near future, like even making 3D models won't won't even be worth it for a person because the AI will blow everyone out of the water. But I don't think so, because even AI generate image generation right now is fairly, you know, it's not new anymore. It's a few years old, and still, if you're gonna do like AI image generation, most of the time, like I can still tell the difference, which means that it's not quite on the same level as a professional human. If I can tell the difference, that means that, you know, it's not there yet, right? So I can't see I mean, I see it being like on a high level and being an option. Is it as good as human? Not right now. think AI image 3D is more useful for prototyping. Honestly, Chirico, it's I'll be honest, I think it makes more like it's good for prototyping if you're not that good. You know, like, I mean, I want to be careful with that because there are some professionals who legitimately like use AI and are faster using AI than not. But there's also a lot of professionals that are slower when they use AI because their like base workflow is just so fast and high quality. Like, you know, like if you go online and watch like some, I don't fucking know, like some drawing vids, right? Like you'll see like like let's say like pen and paper drawing videos. Depending on the skill of the artist, like extremely skillful artists, we're talking about like top tier, like they're able to generate like or to draw like high quality, like extremely high quality stuff in around an hour, 2 hour. And an hour, 2 hour, like in an hour, 2 hour of like prompting, like you're gonna get a lot of garbage until you get what you actually want. So like the time it takes to generate what you want is kind of similar to, you know, what a professional artist would get, except the professional artist wouldn't like beat around the bush. Like, you know, they'd make like a series of thumbnail, then they would iron out the design like from the get-go, and like in 2 hours, like they'd have like a solid concept that is basically exactly what was supposed to be made. Whereas there's a lot of like beating around the bush with the AI workflow. But, you know, for someone who's not that top tier artist, for them to make that sort of art, it's gonna take them like, I don't know, I mean, it depends on the artist obviously, but like you can easily go into the 10 and 20 hours, you know, like for like one piece if you're not like a professional, to get it to the same level as a professional. And so when you're talking about 10-20 hour, like the AI workflow kind of blows this out of the water. But keep in mind, like this is as of today, like these things change very quickly. That's how I see it right now. The best people are insane. Yeah, they really are. That's the thing. Like, you know, like if you go on YouTube and write like Kim Jong-gi, like, you know, like you'll see a guy that can like draw like on demand, like, you know, top tier. And we're not talking about like an hour to draw. Like the guy is like a printing machine basically. Like there are some top artists who are like just so good that they just outspeed, you know, the best AI models basically. Let's not say in like a finished piece. Let's not say a finished piece. Let's say like for concepting, because like a finished piece, like AI is undeniably like faster than us at this point. Like if you feed like a sketch to an AI and you want to like have the AI color it, it's going to be way faster for the type of quality you're going to get than what a professional would take for time to color. But for the designing portion, you know, the top pros are still faster, I think. AI doesn't make finished pieces usually, though. I mean, it depends, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, if you're in the industry, like, you will know that a lot of professionals use AI in their pipeline for the finishing touches. Like, actually, like, they'll make the sketch, like, the high-level professional, like, they'll make the sketch, they'll have the AI, like, fix the line art or color it, or, you know, like, do, like, passes, basically, for added details. So when you say AI can't make finished pieces, I mean, it depends on the work that you're asking. Like, is again, like, I know that some professionals actually use the AI not for the design process. That's usually the non-professional who use AI for the designing. And when I say non-professional, that's not really the right way to put it, because there's still professionals who do it, but let's say the top tiers, right? The top tier artists. For the top tier artists, they just make better design faster than they can prompt good design with AI. Because you have to keep in mind, like, you need like very specific prompt to not have your designs be generic, right? Jesus Christ, for some reason we can't invade from here anymore. All right, let's move area. I don't know, Frenzy, like, Frenzy, it depends on, like, as far as coding goes, like, from my understanding of it, it's like, you're right, and again, it depends on the person who's using the tool. Like, there are some coders who are making, like, like, there are some professional coders who do the work that is equivalent to a full team of programmers with AI models. And so it is vastly, like, monetary, like it's vastly superior basically to what they would be able to accomplish on their own. But there are other people that ask AI, that are basically noobs, who ask AI to code things, and they don't know how to prompt it properly. You know, they're not as experienced, and so it costs them as much as if they would have hired an actual person to code it for them instead. So I think it's a, like, it's a skill issue at using the tool. I find it funny calling it a skill issue, because I mean, you know, I think we all agree that AI does pretty much most of the work for you, but all things considered, like, I definitely know of some people who are professionals who do the work that is equivalent of a full team. And let me tell you that this is, you know, way more value than a single human coder. There's no doubt about that. You know, if you just vibe code and, you know, like, you're not necessarily a professional and you watch YouTube vid, like, there's a good chance you might, like, you might play around with that thing for a while and just waste money. I doesn't understand requirements. Again, like, I feel like this would have been true, like, a few months ago, but, like, things move so fast. Like, some professionals, like, have, like, AI set, like, agentic AI setups. Agentic means that, you know, the AI basically run wild in your system and are able to execute multiple tasks, and they have, like, multiple AIs doing that. And so they break down tasks in a specific intelligent way to where they can tackle hard challenges. Like, you know, making a website is definitely possible. But, you know, like, it's not like you can just tell the AI, like, make me a website. That's not how it works. Like, you have to understand the pipeline of website creation. You have to break it down, and you have to set up different agents for specific tasks. And you basically have to orchestrate the whole thing in a way that makes sense for the agent. And there's definitely always, like, a lot of debugging passes. But my understanding of it from the people I've seen, it is definitely faster if you know what you're doing. And some very knowledgeable people about using AI tools are definitely able to produce work at a pace that that is basically far faster than what they would have been able to otherwise, or professional coders would be able to otherwise. But again, like, if you're talking about, like, you know, some YouTubers, or, you know, some vibe coders, or, you know, people who do that as a hobby, or even some professionals that might not necessarily be as experienced with using AI. Maybe they're amazing coders, but maybe they don't know all the ins and out of using AI. I don't, by the way. Like, you know, it's just that I have feel like a very, you know, I have a good overview of what's happening, but I don't know, like, how to code myself, for instance. And I don't necessarily know how to use AI to the extent that I'm telling you guys about. But I know people who do, though. Like, I know people who do, and I can share the stories, basically. all about the domain. Obviously, like, depending on what the task at hand is, like, the workflow varies drastically. Like, clearly. Like, there's no doubt about that. It ate my input for the physic. Insane rune arc. That latency is nasty. Nasty lat. Just force trading. I mean, these people know exactly what they're doing. Like, guys, don't wonder why someone like that has a great sword. Like, he knows that he can just force trades. But, you know, having Claws of Night is definitely a bonus against latency. Although I said that he's latent, but... Oh no, never mind. It's 4 p.m. my time. Not, like, really too... Like, not quite in my time zone yet, but, like, I'm, you know, getting close, like... Because usually, like, you know, who is latent here, right? Like, you know, you're always the center of the universe, right? You know what I mean? But, like, who is latent in situations? Usually the blame goes to the person that's playing outside of their time zone. And usually, like... we consider, like, okay, this is my time zone when, you know, it's basically dinner time in your area, right? That's basically your time zone. If it's dinner time for you and someone else is lagging for you, it's their fault. It's not yours, right? You know what I mean? Let's put this here. Man, Claws of Night is so nice to have when you're fighting a shield. They just destroy shields. You can play relatively later in the East Coast and earlier on the West Coast and have good results. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, people can play at whatever time they want. Like, that's not what I'm saying, but... You know, like, you know, for me personally, I have a harder time blaming people for latency if I'm playing at 2 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, you know, if I'm playing at 2 a.m., it's like, okay, like, if there's latency in the fight, like, you know, that's on me because I'm playing at 2 a.m. Like, I shouldn't play technically in that time zone. You know what I mean? But if you're playing at, like, you know, 7 p.m. your time, it's like, you know, you should be getting people that are playing after dinner just like you in your area. There's 2 players. Oh shit. Damn, the backstab damage is so high with these claws. It's crazy. I'm impressed so far. I'm impressed with the Claws of Night damage. Like, we're not even really buffing. Like, we're getting insane damage without buffing. Like, we're not using anything to start fights. We're just straight from the get-go having really good damage. It has a critical modifier, does it? Dude, let me check. No wonder it does so much BS damage. Yeah, it has a 110. It has a 110 and it has, like, stupidly high AR. That's crazy. Damn, that's... Dude, these claws are so... I wonder if these claws could do more crit damage than Misericord Dagger. I wonder if that would be possible to achieve. Now, to be honest, like, that backstab damage, it's like... That seems higher than what Misericord would get on a Strength build, at least. I don't know about a Dex build, but... That seems, like, even higher than Strength Misericord. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm consistently doing over 1k for BS grabs. Like, that is not usual. Probably only if you stack multi-hit buffs. Maybe. Honestly, after this, let's just grab a little PvE mob and test it. I'm sure that would work. How many players in there? 2 players. Let's just not take chances. I know he was one shot, but... This just melts, really. What a setup. Again, like, I did not even have time to buff. Like, we basically entered the fight. Oh, maybe I did a... Did I do a boiled crab? I guess I did. Do you have the multi-hits tier 2? No, like, it's just defense, but I do have both talismans for multi-hit. But again, like, it's not, like, you know, a lot of the builds we did recently, like, you sacrifice a lot. Like, here, you know, I'm still rocking, like, Crimson Ember, Erdtree Favor. I still have good armor. And also, I have a backup spread crossbow that, quite frankly, I think is probably a flaw of this setup to have that, because the Claws of Night already have a very, like, handy projectile option. And so I don't think really the crossbow is necessary here. But I like that crossbow just to have the option of sleeping people. I think when you're invading, being able to sleep people often can mean the difference between winning and losing an invasion. Which is why, like, I very often just keep my sleep pots on my hotbar. Because sleep pots are usually the most important consumable when you're invading. You know, aside from healing, of course. But technically, you could optimize this build further by, you know, getting it better armor, not fashion armor. Like, this is fashion armor, guys. Like, Solitude armor, it's, you know, it's pretty and all, but this is fashion. This is not, like, optimal or by any mean. I guess it crossbow is still better for projectiles. He gave up. He gave up right away. Is it 80 dex? Yeah, honestly, my stat spread is not optimal, but it's definitely not bad. You know, it's definitely not a bad stat spread. Not optimal, but not bad. I think when Tarnished Edition comes out, you'll be able to take advantage more of your stats here. You'd be able to have like 60 vigor, for instance. X has many burst damage tools, yeah. Like technically, again, like you could find like better armor here. Like even with this stat spread, like what you could do better than what I have now is probably like lower your endurance by 2 points, put those 2 points into vigor, you know, change your armor to get some better one that's more optimized for that new weight ratio. That's probably what would be best here. Because this is not optimal armor, but I think Solitude armor looks cool, and Blade's Gauntlet like fit well with it, you know. And I'm still able to like do like a talisman swap from Crimson Ember. So all in all, like even though this is not like optimal defense, I'm satisfied with this type of defense. Armor set looks cool, that's all that matters, yeah. $58 annoys you, you know, like with that 58. There you go, problem solved. It's very easy. Look at our tiny health that we're gaining. Look at those 2 points. Aren't they pretty? Look at that. You know, like the difference. Oh, that's your full bar. Oh, 2 more points. Look at the tiny extra you're getting. Nah, dude, the price to pay to be ugly like that. I'll take that tiny health bar penalty for not looking ugly. But yes, if you wanted to, that little lion is probably a better pick here. That's gonna be some dragon shenanigans here. Close. Have to be careful about the dragon breath. It's gonna be annoying because they're both projectile spammers. Ooh, I thought I fell off. He got saved real bad. Alright, your turn now. Brenna, don't do this to me. Stand cell 2 out of stun is definitely a choice. Yeah, I mean... Okay, here's the deal. I want to check the crit damage for the backstab Misericord versus Claws of Night. I'm quite curious. Wait, can I not backstab this guy? Doesn't seem like I can. Okay, let's go here instead. Never noticed that you couldn't backstab this guy. It says 290, but I don't think he has enough HP for us to test. Maybe outside player room. $17.17, and we're gonna test this one. Although I think it's 2 hits though. We're gonna have to redo this. Okay, so 2,458. Yeah, that's a lot. 2,458. Let's write it down. 2,458. And then we're gonna do it again with the claw because it hits twice. 347, 1717. Okay, so it's not comparable. So 347, 347, and then 1717. Okay, and then that's 2064. Okay, so it's about 400 damage difference on this guy, which is still, you know, significant enough for this to matter. Although since we're in the 2000 range, against a player, you're more doing like in the 1000 damage range. So I think in reality, the real difference in PvP would probably be around 250, 200. So 200 damage difference around that in PvP would be my guess. Like between Claws of Night and Misericord, which quite frankly, that's not that much because we're talking about Lightning Misericord here. Like that means that Claws of Night probably out crit damage like a Fire Misericord most likely. Oh, what's up, Soda? It's quite crazy how high the claw damage gets with that crit modifier. Like, think about it, guys. You're basically talking about what is likely, like, I mean, like, probably the second best crit weapon in the game, like, after Misericord. I assume. I don't know if the other daggers could be close. I mean, they would be close, but I don't know if they would be better, but... Like, Claws is probably, like, the second or third best... Probably second or third best crit weapon. It's kind of crazy. Like, we know Misericord's #1. Maybe the normal dagger at 130 with lightning. Maybe that thing would be... Actually, you know what? Let's just test it. Let's just test it. I'm curious. Now that we started talking about that, I want to know. Let's see. Ooh. The claws are actually significantly higher. Dude, the claws actually do a lot more. That's crazy. Wow. Wow, the claws actually beat the normal dagger by a significant amount. Like, in PvP, you're probably talking about, like, a 100 AR difference between the normal dagger and claws. Try rapier. Let's grab one. You're getting me curious, too. It's taking too long. Let's just do that. Rapier, 110, 130. Sorry. Very curious about rapier. Ooh, rapier actually is a little... Dude, rapier is very close to Misericord. What the hell? Dude, rapier is like super close. So rapier is better. Rapier is actually better than claws at critting. Dude, I didn't know rapier was the second best crit weapon in the game. At least on Dex. That's crazy. That's so interesting. What about the magic physic? I don't think it's worth it. Magic physic is worth it when you're doing like a significant amount of magic damage. Like, for instance, if you're a caster, if you're using gravitational missile as your main go-to attack, then magic physics a no-brainer. If you're using a magic build and you're using Scepter of the All-Knowing to debuff people, then the magic physic makes sense because you're getting that 10% extra. Without these, you know, if you're just using a weapon that has split physical, split magic, I think you're better off with the defense physic. Because you have to keep in mind, your magic physic only buffs the magic portion of your attack. So if you're split damage, like, you know, the returns you get for the extra damage are not worth it if your magic damage is not high enough. Not get caught not being able to see what's in front of us. It was bad for this guy. The regular dagger at least has good one-handed R2. Yeah, it does. It's very short though. It's very short, but it's like a healthy mix between, like, you know, Wakazashi and Misericord. Well, a healthy mix, not really, because it's much shorter. And both Misericord and Wakazashi are longer. Like, you know, if you're gonna, like, fish for crit with the normal dagger and use the R2s, personally, I would just go with Wakazashi and just skip the normal dagger altogether. Having done that myself, you know, I did a stream, like, just normal dagger and shield, going for both crits and R2s like that. And I felt like the R2s were just too short to make the attack, like, shine. And between, like, taking the range penalty and taking the crit damage penalty, I'd rather take the crit damage penalty. So Wakazashi, I would use that over the normal dagger, even if I was going for crits. My teammate died in a corner. Trying to attack, but there's no opening. I'm not too sure that should have hit me. Started to unlock his attacks. Have to be extra careful. And so far, there's just not really been any opening. It's just a spam fest. Wow, my Ipe armor, like, basically insane lock on, bro. Okay, and now the invasion's over because their aggro is now split. Okay, dang. Alright, laggy host, that's it. Oops, I'm out of healings. We're gonna have to wait a little bit. Yo, the lag! Bro just lagging to save his ass. Alright, it should be over already. Waiting for a teammate to do the punish, but he just hesitated. So laggy. We got robbed of our kill because the host lagged at a moment that saved him. What's the purpose of main weapon in offhand? I mean, if you're talking about this setup, like, the having claws in the main hand is important because the setup is not the same at all if you have the Great Cat in the main hand. Like, you want Great Cat in the offhand because you're really only using the offhand Hype Armor and offhand Hype Armor into guaranteed R1. And you're leveraging, like, everything the Claw has, like crouch attack, running, jumping. That's what you're doing. Like, you don't want the Great Cat moveset. You want the Claw moveset here. Well, the setup is just not the same if you invert the weapons. I don't know if the Claw still combo. If you use Great Cat main hand into offhand Claw, it probably does, but I don't think I've ever tested it. But again, you lose like the speedy move set from the Claw. Because like the moment you make your Great Cat in the main hand and your Claw in the offhand, you're basically removing like all your options to force someone to panic roll, because the Claw, like normal R1 or normal L1, is just not fast enough to make someone panic. And so like the crouch attack from the Claw is kind of necessary if you want to make someone that reaction rolls panic. Interesting. Okay, there's no indicator anywhere. Let's back off. To be fair though, having Rakshasa in the main hand, you know, it has the big advantage of the Weedcutter Ash of War. Like, let's be real, Weedcutter Ash of War just shits on Scattershot like it's day and night for... like, Weedcutter is like one of the better Ash in the game. Like, Scattershot was one of the best Ash in the game, but it's not anymore since they nerfed the headshot. Rightfully so, by the way. I need to figure out how I'm gonna approach this. Let's focus on this rock here. It'd be quite annoying to have to deal with this Ealer. Light rolling Ealer nonetheless. Lucky. All right. Okay, we have one big boy. It early hit, I'm not even joking. Okay, another big boy here. Another big boy, and let's switch gear a little bit. Ah, this doesn't work. Let's kill the host. Let's take our chance. Not fast enough. That's quite annoying. Careful about the light rolling spammer. I might be dead. Yeah. I was locked into that animation. That's unfortunate. What's unfortunate is the host started this attack meant for the PvE. And it just, you know, the lock-on locked onto me after the PvE died, so... Like, he did not even aim for that kill. Pretty bad spot to fight, all things considered. Pretty bad spot to fight, but I think the hardest part was having to deal with the light rolling healer. Even though like people like that are just complete ass at the game, like it's just like such a game flaw that's very hard to deal with as an invader. The only way you deal with these people is Pada. That's it. Like there's really not much else. Speaking of Pada, I think I should just carry one for good measure, like have the option. Like in case I have to deal with someone like that again. Think for himself I did Pada for this purpose? I don't think so. Like, Pada is also a problem, like, you know, it outshines so many other weapons, but it's like you don't fix a problem by creating another, you know? Oh, camera, don't leave me. Let's have a place to back up. Can't take that punish, unfortunately. is not what I meant, but we're gonna take it. That's a free kill. Finish him. So annoying. Ethan. Problem is, it doesn't matter if we outplay one. The other is always ready to whiff punish after. Okay. I need like one eel and we should be good to go. Easy. Yeah, what's up, Mark? I guess the little bleed at the end is always nice, you know, like you work out some damage and then you get that bonus bleed. You don't necessarily rely on it, but it's always a nice to have. Gonna be coming toward us from this side. That almost scared me as well. This is crazy, man. Okay, the dude, I didn't know you could do that. Because your jump attack doesn't stagger, like you basically like cancel your fall animation with a backstab. I didn't even know that was a thing. There's normally, you know, if you plunge attack someone, you can't backstab them because, you know, they'll be stunned. But apparently, because you don't stun them, they're backstabbable. That's funny. Yo, Mark, thanks for the gifted to Odium. Really appreciate that. I actually confused this guy with the with the boss. Yeah, I'm not sure what the host was doing there. I think he gave up. Not sure. Is it you or are the frames taking a crap? The stream is at 30 FPS, but let me see. Let me look at OBS. OBS is giving stable 30. Guys, anyone else not having stable 30? I'm trying different settings every stream. See what's best. So far, it's been 2 people that have said that the frame rate is taking a crap. So I guess people are a lot more sensitive than what I anticipated. I don't like 30 FPS though. It's just that I'm trying to find like some sort of middle ground where I can use the same like streaming output for both YouTube and Twitch, but technically like what's optimal if you're streaming, it's like you want like 936p, not 1080, but YouTube can't have that. Okay, so like you're gonna stream at 1080, like you want more bitrate than that. YouTube can have that, but Twitch doesn't allow fucking high bitrate, so like you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. So I wanted to see like, okay, what if I tried, like I haven't streamed at 30 FPS in a long time. What if I tried 30 FPS? Like, will people enjoy the, you know, the higher like bitrate fidelity, let's call it? Or will they just like suffer through the 30 FPS? So far, I think it's quite clear that people seem to want the 60 FPS more, but you know, that's why I try it. I wanted to see like you know, I was testing you guys. Wanted to see how you reacted. Can you even notice the difference? The human eye cannot see past 15 FPS. I'm just joking. But you know, like I'll just change it next time. I was just trying it out. I probably next time I'll also try like 720 as well. Like I'll try 720 60, you know, just to see, like, you never know. Maybe the bitrate is going to be like so stable that at the end of the day 720 is going to be better. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think, you know, I think it was already like a solved problem. Like, what's optimal for Twitch is 936p, 60 FPS. Like, we already know that. It's just that YouTube can't have that, so I'm trying to find like a middle ground. On smartphone, 720 60 is enough. Well, we're gonna see, like, you know, because I like having like honest reactions, right? Like, two people today said like the FPS is tanking, like not realizing that it was just like normal 30. So it just goes to show how sensitive, and I don't mean that like as an insult. I mean that like, you know, like people are visually used to 60 and they find it abnormal when it's not 60, which is completely fine, you know. But it goes to show like who is on like who's watching at 60. Pretty much everyone. I love how I just locked onto the red there. And it ate my input twice. And this guy is lagging. Oh! Lagging a lot, too. Let's just double heal. Yep. I don't think I can afford to let go the Phantom. Because, he's gonna hit me while the other invader's taking a piss. And the lock-on's fucking me over. I keep locking onto the other red. That's quite crazy. This teammate is downright useless. I don't even know what he's doing. I'm basically playing by myself here. Teammate was like leaving the action like every other like 10 seconds he was like running away to do something in a corner. And he was also doing a pretty good job at chasing the wrong target every time. Kind of funny. Yeah, a cutie indeed. Although impressive how Elden Ring keeps locking me onto that teammate. Like in the midst of all like the movement and everything, like it just keeps locking onto the other invader. How can you get a gaming playlist like mine? Oh man, it's very easy. I download everything, and I mean everything, off of the YouTube audio library. So it's all like, and the reason why I do that is that it's much less of a hassle to have to deal with the copyright, because YouTube cannot cannot copyright strike music that's in their copyright-free library. They just can't. Like, no one can actually claim it. Like, you know how like sometimes you get like morons and scammers who can try to claim, like, you know, like some like parts of like a Skyrim song or shit like that. That cannot happen with with YouTube audio library. So it's much less of a hassle. That's why I use it. Is it a good idea to remove friendly fire for reds? No, I think it's a good idea to add friendly fire to host and phantoms. Personally speaking, even if there was not any PvP in the game, I find it way more enjoyable when you have to worry about not hitting your teammate when you're co-oping. That's just me though. I know like most gamers are casuals and they don't like anything that's remotely challenging, but I prefer it when you have to be careful about where you're attacking. That's how I see it. I know most people don't. But, you know, I said my piece. We're not going to engage them in the open like that. This guy's landing. Okay, one of their phantom is missing in action. At least there's that. Block them there. I thought he would just buff. I thought he would buff. He just went straight for the offense. Close. I love how we actually... The game is so jank, guys. What happened at the end? The game is so jank. Like, this last interaction was basically like, I attacked him. He did the Raptors of the Mist. Normally with Raptors of the Mist, like, my attack is supposed to hit him, then he gets launched in the air. But the game is so jank that the Raptors of the Mist, like, ducking made me whiff and, like, hit above his head, so the Raptors did not trigger. And my follow-up just hit him normally because Raptor never triggered because I hit over his forehead. Just goes to show, like, how inconsistent this shit is. That's crazy. I don't think that changed anything because normally it would have died in the air, but, like, that little bit was kind of funny. Oh, there you go. Should be fun. The full squadron. We almost got scammed by the hand who pushed us, but we got it. Okay, the crouch attack follow-up makes a lot of sense. I think we figured it out. It's this, and then crouch attack. That's what seems to roll catch them. Because so far I've been trying, like, you know, this, or like, you know, this, and this, and it doesn't really seem to work that well. Or like with the R2 follow, like I've been trying different variation, but so far I think the crouch attack is the best sequence here, like after you do, you know, this, and then this. That's what I think makes sense. And this is a very nice setup, guys. Like, I really like it. It's very strong. Broken even. I mean, I don't think I'm surprising anyone when I say that. You know, like, Claws of Night damage is kind of crazy. I think what's crazy about a build like that is I'm doing that much damage without really any buffing. Like, sometimes I'll eat a crab, sometimes an exalted flesh, but most of these fights I'm not even buffed at all. It's just like the physic. Let's get this one though. Surprised he hit that. Okay, well, that's just low HP. No, it's not coming. They had very low HP for going into the DLC like that. That's some very tiny health bar. Not usual for playing the DLC area at 150. Claw one-handed crouch R1 comes out frame 8. It's the fastest attack in the game? No way. That's crazy. Wow, I didn't know that. So that's basically unreactable. Wow, that makes this setup nasty. What the hell? Dude, frame 8 is crazy. Actually, Twin S-Stock Jump L1 comes out at frame 7. Yeah, but it's a jumping attack. Like, you can't, like... You know, like, you need to prime yourself with the jump first. And the tracking is not that great. Whereas, you know, with this... You know, you could... like, have it come out at any time. Crazy. I didn't know that crouch attack was that fast, though. It certainly doesn't look as fast as what you're saying. Guess maybe it is. Is it like Dagger R1, like 10 frames? It's 11 frames. Damn, okay. Wow, that's... Dude, 8 frames versus 11. That's crazy. Wow. I'm actually shocked. Like, no way that's fast. That it's that fast, I mean. This weapon is busted? Yeah, so I'm hearing. You have to get in crouch beforehand? Yes. Okay, where are they? Come on, bro. Maybe it's for the best that I jump down. Hey! Thank you. PvE. Where's the host at, though? Eek. The host just go back up. Oh, this guy is taking a beating. With no armors, you know, the claws are gonna shred you to pieces if you don't have armor. I guess going down was the correct move after all. Where's that host at? Oh, he went around. Pretty sure he's like over here. Wait. Where is he? What the hell? Oh, he's inside. He's inside the tubes. All right. Let's go inside the tubes. Is he this way? He come back home.
Hey!
I can just like spam between my L1, my R1, and eventually he's gonna get hit. The fashion goes hard with this setup. Yeah, I agree. I really like it. I like Solitude armor. I know it's not optimal, I know, but sometimes I like to have full armors. I don't actually like when every stream is like, you know, like this or, you know, like this or this. Like, that shit's ugly. Like, when I have silly setups, I don't mind, but once in a while, it's nice to have a character that doesn't look too bad. Solitude armor is the best thing that came out of the DLC. Yeah, I think that's right. You mean Timu Lap? I don't think Solitude looks like Lap at all, because Lap armor is clearly like historical frog armor, which was used for jousting. Whereas this has nothing to do with this. It's a completely different design. So I don't think this has anything to do with Lap other than probably the best looking armor for each game, but that's about where the comparison ends. Whoa! Ooh, it looks latent.
Hey!
It says 3 players though. Gotta be careful. Yeah, I see some lag in there. Quite scary. Oh yeah, host is lagging quite a lot too. Host connection is downright atrocious. Like, you have to predict like when the lag is gonna happen, basically. being quite honest, like I'm considering just straight up like leaving this. Oops. You know what? That's not what I wanted. Okay, well, I'm gonna block this host regardless though. This connection's just too shit. I didn't want to jump like that, but that's probably for the best. I guess connection is just unplayable anyway. Players, 2 players. Alright, let's do this. Since he has a shield. Okay, move on to the host. Wow, the reaction roll catch on the crouch is dumb easy. That's crazy. I didn't know it was that easy to reaction roll catch when you're doing crouch here. That's useful. Yeah, same Odium. Like ever since I don't know who in chat said that I was it Mazocrest? I don't know who in chat said that it was like frame 8 frame. But like knowing that now, like it's quite clear that I've been underusing that attack like quite significantly. At least we won't have to... Wait, is he alive? Bro, I think he fell on something and he's alive. That's him. Crazy. Go back down! Bro, that's so funny. He even saw me too, like he stopped on the ladder. Bro, that's so dumb. Yeah, he also waited, exactly. So funny. I wish I could have seen his reaction. It's like, oh, come on, man. Something like that. uh, Alright guys, since we've played quite a bit with this, let's try the parry god setup. Let's try that. Actually, is there something else than the dagger that we could use that could be good here? What if we try freaking like one-handed Pada and shield? Let's try that. Let's try one-handed Pada, parry, shield. And if necessary, we can swap to like Claws of Night or whatever. You guys want to see Rapier? We can try Rapier. I think the parry here is going to be downright useless. Parry is going to be useless, Endure is going to be useful. Bro. Get out of here. Unironically, like, Endure was like the best Ash of War you could have had for this situation. Like against some sort of L2 spam frame trap like that covers large distance, like Ender is legitimately the only logical play. Okay, let's grab a Rapier. Okay, what do we put on that Rapier? Let's see here. Dude, Lightning Slash for more damage. Why not? Let's just do simple high damage. We're just gonna buff our Rapier and see like how much crit we can get out of it. Why that Rapier? For the crit damage, because actually that Rapier has like the second highest crit damage after Misericord. And we can do like running R2 as well. Guess the standing R2 is kind of ass, but ever made a build that maxes out Vikes? I don't think I made a build to really like optimize for Vikes. I've made Vikes build a few times, but not like damage optimized, no. Players. Oh, they're over here. That's it for you. I think there's gonna be a lot of parry spamming. Parry is basically like low risk, high reward in this game. And our crit damage is gonna be super high with the lightning slash buff. Holy light show. Kind of latent there. Wow, not a parry there. Not a parry there either, apparently. And this is... Let's move out of here. Fuck off. Let's just spam roll for now. Okay, this guy is lagging. That's why I could not parry him. The Phantom. Not the not the one with the spiky hair, the other one. I'm actually curious about his connection. It felt like our parry timing was correct twice now. Could be because he was lagging. Didn't seem abnormal there on the pot hit. Oh, come on. Hit his ankle. Just like in the Greek myth, dude, the guy got arrowed on, like, right on the Achilles tendon. I'm gonna try to get a little more parry spam with this. I want to see the full extent of that rapier, that buffed rapier damage, you know, with the lightning slash. Like on the riposte, it should do quite a lot. Didn't it one-shot anyone? I don't know. Maybe. That's what I'm curious. Bro. You don't even have time to get there. A little risky. And they are far. Well, there's 3 of them. No. Come on, game. Oh, if it ate or not? No, it didn't. No idea where he is. Dude, where are they? Okay. It's annoying. Yo, that damage? At least I can two-hand the rapier when I need to. We were not gonna get a parry here. Like, the first Phantom, that one could have been parried, but the one with the 2 anchors was spamming jump attack and the host was spamming the Ash of War, so I think it was pointless to attempt to parry there. And that's it. We take what's there, guys. We take what's theirs. Or what's available. Yo! Yo, the lag is real. Okay, buddy. It's just too laggy. Yeah, I mean. This is scary, scary laggy. Honestly, guys. It's too laggy, like. I did not aim that way. It's just. Oh! It hurt. Okay, you laggy fuck. Alright, try to parry him. Not try to force it too much, try to get a correct timing. We can. He's too unpredictable. Like, I'm fishing for the parry the whole time, and it's just unrealistic to get it against these people because they don't follow like any pattern. They just attack randomly, like random choice of attack every time. Trying to get the parry, but I basically just have to get lucky. It's just better to kill them normally. I think what I should have done is fish for backstab against the host instead. I tried to go for a perfect block backstab, maybe. I think that's what I should have gone for. Makes me just want to switch the prior setup we had earlier. It's just fucking claw these people, get it over with. Like, they give you nothing. They give you nothing to parry. You just spam. Just spam whatever. I want to at least get like a good riposte before switching this off. Otherwise, it's kind of pointless to try this out. But it does goes to show though that, like, you know, it works. Like, parrying works. Like, it's a valid like way of approaching it, but it's not like, you know, it's not like a reliable strat. That, wait, what the hell? You guys see that? Like, someone fell over. What the hell? That was so weird. I think our teammate is gonna be missing for a while, but you fucking moron. Alright. I mean, you're not gonna get away here. Way too dangerous to keep alive. Holy light show. Yeah, they rush through the area. You can't do that. Not with Big Boy over there. Just look at him. Slash 3 business days after the elevator went down. Yeah, I think he was trying to be a smartass and he tried to kill me. Then he realized like that I could fight back, and then he gave up.
Hey!
What am I doing today? Well, you missed it. We did mostly main hand Claws of Night, offhand Rakshasa. Super good. Super good. Now I'm just trying to get a parry with Rapier, because I want to see that riposte damage. Because, like, while we were playing with Claws of Night and Rakshasa, like, I realized how much crit damage Claws of Night does, and, like, I started testing, like, some of the crit damage, and, like, Rapier is actually the second highest crit damage after Misericord. Like, it's higher than the normal dagger. And so it goes like this. Like, best crit damage is Misericord. After that, it's Rapier. And then after that, it's... what's it called? And after that, it's Claws of Night. I mean, it's just as random as it gets. Like, it's gonna work once. Like, doing a stupid play like that, like, attacking when you don't have prio, like, it's gonna work the first time because it's a terrible play and I don't expect that. But, you know, like, you can't do that afterward. Oh, the laggy plot there, though. Bro, this game. So annoying. Oh, that's not Dark Souls 3 Rapier. Bro, he does not give a shit. These people are so brain dead. Honestly, I'm thinking I should really change setup just to kill them. Wow, no hit there. No hit there again. Bro, this guy is slowly... He is slowly getting away. I'm really making it harder for myself there. I think we're just gonna do a last one and call it a failure for that rapier. I'm gonna get off after this. I have other things to do today. Where are you going, buddy? Oh. There she is. Alright, let's see if we can... Oh, behind me? Yeah. That's not variable. God, I'm playing with my food too much with this garbage setup. Bro, the tracking is so bad. Alright, man. It's just... It's more of a pain... It's more of a pain to try to get the parry than just to kill them with, like, any other attack. They don't want to cooperate, even with Rivers, which would be a good candidate to get parried. Alright, guys, I'm gonna call it here, though. I think that's enough suffering for the rapier. Good setup, though, with the Claws of Night and Rakshasa. Like, man, oh man, that shit is so good. That's a really nice one. Really like that one. Alright, guys, gonna put 60 FPS back next stream. It was just to see if people would enjoy more the like better bitrate, but from the look of it, it looks like people prefer 60, so we're gonna go back to 60. Alright, guys, thanks everyone for coming by again. Really appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys up next time. Take care, guys. Let's see, let's raid Montage. Or actually, is he PvPing? No, he's not doing PvP. Let's raid Goldie. Alright, take care, guys.